JK, how are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. You been very busy building out a lot of workflows and some interesting agents. So I just want to share it today with our audience and show the awesome work that you're doing and how it's helping to amplify our careers and our use cases for our partners and clients. So the first one I want to jump into is
Hmm.
something pretty unique. So you have created a career mapping agent workflow, which helps to understand who you are, where you're at in your career, and from there to be able to put forward where you would like to go and map the gap in between. So I'm going to share the PDF output first, just so that people can see what it is that it produces. And then we'll switch over to you. You can show the agents. You can then show what is the sequence of agents we created, and then dive into the workflow. And then that will be a wrap.
Yeah, let's
Cool.
go. Hmm.
Let's go, bro. So this is the email that's received from Amplified Human. So the way we design our agents, one agent will do the consult, passes that consult through a workflow of agents. At the end of that workflow, an email is sent to the individual. You've got lots of functionality to decide who gets that email, whether you keep it internal or direct to the end user. This one was designed to come direct to the end user. So you can see it sends me a nice email saying, hope this email finds you well, completely customizable email intro. And you can see it's got an attachment for my rural innovation plan. What I said that I would like to create for myself is the ability to move from my current career and move towards building out a rural self-sufficiency venture studio uh, uh, um, play. So pretty extreme, and by design, I wanted it to be, really quite a leap to something outside of a normal mild or low career jump, just to see how it closes the gap in between. So you can see it gives an executive summary, a comprehensive skills gap analysis of who I am, um, a career simulation preview, skill exploration projects, which is pretty cool. So it helps design projects for you to build towards that career. So, because it's quite a leap. And then an implementation roadmap, which is a 90-day roadmap. And it also provides you with key highlights on probability of success, priority focus, quick win certifications, which is really cool. So telling you exactly what you can gear up on from a learning and development perspective. And let's dive into the report. Quick overview. You can see that what JK has done really well is design a template that meets the Amplified Human corporate identity and guidelines. So a nice cover page, just pegging exactly what the title is, provides a executive summary. So what this does is the first agent would have received my LinkedIn or a resume, and from there extract key information from that and baseline that as the current as is career state and any other prompts I may have added, and then where I want to go to, which is the development of a venture studio on an island, remote, off grid, which is a nice little fantasy to have. And then it provides the strategic career vision. So, establishing me as a recognized leader in rural self-sufficiency. And from there, it picks up the skills gap analysis. So I'm going to move quickly through this. It's providing a user profile summary, okay, a dynamic skills inventory. So it's looking at my existing skills taken from my LinkedIn. So a nice summary of, what the skill is, the category, the current level. That doesn't read too bad. Obviously, what's interesting is the last three. It's picking up that I'm a beginner in regenerative agribusiness because it's not on my LinkedIn profile. Off-grid systems operations, also beginner, and monitoring and evaluation measurements, also beginner. So it's picked up. The rural entrepreneur program design, also intermediate. It's probably going intermediate because I'm dealing a lot with entrepreneurs at the moment in building out my history with Huawei as a startup. mentor and guide and building an incubator accelerator. So that's probably why it has that at intermediate grant funding as well, because I've been doing a lot of that. So very well pegged, accurate. I'd give it a thumbs up. The gap matrix. Now, this is where it gets interesting, right? So it's showing that my skill for regenerative agribusiness, it's going to take me from beginner to advanced. The gap is large. What needs to be unlocked from a roles perspective and potential citations. So giving actual resources, which is what we designed into the agent flow, to make this not just hallucinate. That's the key with the AI. How do you prevent hallucination? How do you ensure that it's giving you tangible recommendations and this isn't all just pie in the sky stuff? So off-grid systems, MEL, Rural Entrepreneur Program, applied grant funding. And then relevance matrix is just giving that a rating, what the trend is, and the rationale behind it. So that all looks pretty good. Vulnerability matrix, so giving me again a vulnerability rating across the different key elements that the new career would require. So that helps to shape my thinking on where am I strong, where am I weak, where is their vulnerabilities, and really then taking all of that and shaping it into a priority ranking. So giving you a score and why now, which is great because it's helping you to, from a neuroscience perspective, understand the relevance of what you need to do from a priority perspective and the why. I mean, for anyone to do anything, I think for the era that we live in, there's a lot of career jumps, and you want to know, you kind of know why you want to do something at a high level, but now how do you actually get there? What's the bridge? And then for that bridge with the modular or modules like the off-grid systems, why is this the highest? Okay, because I said I want an off-grid venture studio. So that's pretty on point. The agri-business modeling also on point. So really giving me a priority matrix and then giving me the 30, 60, 90-day learning plan. So this is fantastic. I was quite impressed when I saw this for the first time. I'm going to move along swiftly. We will share this on the content for people to walk through, and more importantly, you can go and test it. It even breaks down what a typical day in the life would look like, from a Monday, what you would do at different times. So really cognitively making sure that you can visualize if you're going to take that career jump, are you actually going to want to do these different activities? So that makes a lot of sense. Okay, the tools and platforms that I would need to consider. So not just looking at the skills, but also what is going to help you to facilitate that daily life. How are you going to collaborate? Metrics that matter. Okay, common challenges and solutions, lifestyle implications. I mean, I've never seen anything like this, and I think it's really powerful. And definitely something I'm going to use because we're in the process of setting up venture studio hubs in different parts of Southeast Asia. And this is something tangible that I can use. So I think that gives you the gist of it. I don't want to spend too much more time on this. Is there anything, JK, you want to add to this PDF section, or do you want to jump, or should we jump to the agents?
Not really. I just thought that my rationale for creating this agent is that maybe some of us we are we want to find out if we are suitable for another career, or maybe some people or like students, they just want to know the different exploration careers that they could explore out there. And it's very hard to gather all of this information on the internet. Sure, you could find it, but information is scattered everywhere. You don't know whether it's reliable or not. And that's why I just thought that this could help people to really consolidate all of this platform, allow you to visualize, okay, if I want to do this career, how could I go there? What are the skills needed? Am I ready for it? How a day in the life of that career would look like? So yeah, that was my rationale when creating this whole workflow and system.
Thank you for sharing. And I think it's worked well. This does leave no room for guesswork. It's pretty on point. I love that how it gives you a 30, 90-day plan, tells me what courses to start with. And as they always say, if you want to be a specific role or live a certain life, just start living it. And if you start adopting the courses, you can manifest and bring that to life. I'm a big believer in that. So maybe let's jump across to the agents quickly.
Sure.
when we build this out, it's in the Amplified Human Operating System. This is a platform that's been created as a no-code, low-code solution for not only building out agents but also workflows. And the building out of this platform, I really wanted to enable myself to self-fulfill in building out agents that do things. And we've made it extremely simple. And JK, you can just show quickly to create a new agent on the top right. A typical example, if you just scroll up and you create an agent there,
Yep.
you put in an agent description, an agent name, and you would then flesh out the details. You don't have to create one, but when you put in the details, it will start creating the different characteristics. If you just close this tab, that you will see in the agents that are coming. So what you need to think about is whenever we start an initiative like this, and what JK has done phenomenally well is I'll give him a high level task to say we need 4 amplified human, a career path mapping agent. I'll let him explain his thinking process, but typically what you would do is map out the problem that you need to solve, okay, and what is that first agent going to do, and then you need to think very carefully about the subsequent agents and the handover, and typically what each specialized agent will do on its own to provide a high value output from that agent result. So JK, take us through that thinking process.
Yeah, I think that for the initial, at least for the initial consulting agent, what we want to go for is we get the user's resume, and then we also get their target career path that they want to explore. And that's what this whole first agent would do. It is the consulting agent, it is a chatbot that you can talk to. But once we get that information, with just knowing what career path they want to go to is not really sufficient. So we need to consider how can we extract out more information about this industry that they want to go to make sure that our response is solid and it is comprehensive and well developed for the user. So that's where, if you could see over here, this would be the next agent that the initial consulting agent would pass the information to. And the whole point of this agent is for creating deep research. They take that initial scarce information about just the career, the target industry that the user wants to go to, and it does a deep research on the various aspects of that career path. So the whole point of this, you don't need to read everything, but it just helps build a comprehensive knowledge base to pass on to the other agents so as to ensure that they have the enough information to deliver quality output. So from here, we'll pass it on to the next agent, which is the skill gap analysis agent. This is for the bulk of the first part of the PDF that we just witnessed. So I've instructed it to give various kinds of output. So for instance, it's supposed to give some priority rankings on what the user can learn first, because oftentimes when we want to delve into a new industry, we don't really know what is the industry's hot trends or what skill sets are really highly favored by employers. So that's why we have things like priority rankings, and we also have an executive summary to give them a brief overview at the start. We have gap matrix and all of the other components that you have witnessed in the PDF just now. So then we'll move on to the career simulation preview. So the rationale is that even if you give me all of this information about the other industries, I can't really visualize it in my head. I don't really know what or how the experience is like when you are going and having an actual career in the industry. So that's why I instructed this agent specifically to kind of simulate how it would be like through textual information. And I've also instructed it to give timelines. So for instance, let's say that I want to try a career in the medicine profession. So what would my working hours be looking like? How early would I need to get up? How much break do I have in between? When do I clock off? These are kind of vital information that I would probably want to have if I were to really consider doing something in another career. And
I just
that
want to
is where
pause there. I think that's such a nice touch, I must say, because Remember, I don't know if well, you're young and you're going into the real world now, but often you
Uh,
will have a perception which is a very veneer perception of a career, and then you think you want to be a specific role, right? And then you get into
mm,
the real world and you're like, wow, I actually might not want to do this job. So this
yeah,
is a
yeah.
great way to pop that bubble, right? And actually contextualize it as to this would be the day in the life of.
Mm.
Yeah, I do like that. Well done. Well done. Good job.
Thank you, thank you. Then we'll move on to the next agent, which is the skill exploration agent. So, assuming that you do have the knowledge of what the industry, having a career in the industry would look like, you also want to know if you yourself are suitable for it. And it's not just looking at your resume and seeing, oh, this skill could probably be useful for that. We want to go a step further, so this agent would specifically is instructed to give you some kind of some kind of mini projects that the people in this industry would usually do. So you yourself can test and find out if you have the relevant skills or qualifications to be able to do this task effectively. And if not, then what are the areas that you can improve on? I think it is giving you a more relevant metric to really assess your skill level right now and how well fitted it is for the target industry you want to be going to. Yeah. So after this is done, we would bring this all into a final proposal agent. It will take our skill gap analysis, as well as our career simulation and our skill exploration content. It would take all of them, package it well into a nicely documented proposal, and eventually that would be it. It would just send the email to you, and you can peruse at the content that we have delivered for you.
Fantastic. So, step one is what is the problem we're solving? Step two is to map out the potential multi agent team and the instructions. Step three is to start building it out, no code into the platform, as we just demonstrated. And the final step in the process is the workflow, which is where you're stitching the agents together. And this is where the magic happens and the power of the amplified human operating system. So JK is going to jump to the workflow now, and he's going to demonstrate that.
Yep. So here's the workflow. So this initial text input would represent the initial input that the consulting agent would pass on to for this workflow. It'll take that, and as mentioned just now, it'll pass it to the deep research agent, which would really go on the internet, source for information, and give you a comprehensive knowledge base for to pass on to all of the other agents in the workflow. So over here, you can see there's three distinct agents. Oops. There's three distinct agents over here. One of them, the skill gap analysis, the career simulation preview, and the skill exploration agent. We would merge all of their output and pass it on to the final proposal agent. And once it has done its job and packaged it into a comprehensive proposal for the user, then we would pass it on to our email agent, and you would have your proposal sent to your email in a matter of 10 to 20 minutes for you to look at. Yeah.
That's amazing. And, whenever we do this, I'm always impressed with what we can achieve within half an hour or even an hour. Let's say this conservatively takes an hour to put together. What we're delivering is a product that really adds a lot of value that the world hasn't seen. Can you just quickly show how you create a node? So just double click to demonstrate, this is where we would create the relevant node. It's so he would pick a co-founder agent node. He would then take that, he would link the relevant agent. So he'll just zoom in a bit, and you can see he will then select the agent that's available in the operating system, and there's all the agents. So he'll find the correct agent. It has a naming convention. As you can see, he's been a busy guy building lots of things, and he will connect that agent. It then pulls through that agent to this node with the instructions. It passes it over to the next agent, and that's how he built all of the agents in sequence. And Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this specific workflow. JK, well done. I'm really loving this career agent. Can you just show how once you've built it, you launch it and it's available in the Discovery store as well?
Yep, yep. It's all good. So once we have created so for instance, if we go back to our initial agent, the initial consulting agent, once we've created it, we've tested it, we can just go here. Um,
So he would
manage.
publish it there. He's
Uh,
already published. So there he would publish it. He can decide if he wants to make it that someone must request access or it's public to everyone. You can just categorize it. So let's do it together now. It would be
mhm.
education and tutoring, right?
Yep.
And done. So he's published that agent. He will then go across to Discovery on the left-hand navigation. And in this platform, you can access that agent and you can use that agent to deliver a career path mapping. JK, love your work. Very well done.
Mm.
And any final words from your side?
Nope. Hope you enjoy and hope this agent will be useful to any of you out there. Yeah.
We should make sure that they share all their stories of how this helped them
Oh
shape and
yeah.
pivot.
Yes, yes,
Good
yes.
stuff. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed
Mhm.
that. See you next time.